Okay, so we're broadcasting live on air, and I want to welcome you all to the Intentional Insights Insiders of the InIn board meeting, all of you InIn Insiders. Hello all, my name is Gleb Sipursky, and I'm the president of Intentional Insights.
Agnes, I'm a vice president, I'm the co-founder, and we also have a couple of board members on the call.
With the board members, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Andrew Barber.
Hi, and I'm Alex Weisenkranz.
Andrew's in California and Alex is in Wisconsin. We're in Columbus, Ohio. And there's also Bentley Davis, who is the coordinator of the Pro Truth Pledge in Texas.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so let's talk about what's been up the last few days, since the last time we met at the InIn open board meeting about a month ago. So we've been working on a number of projects, and we'll talk a little bit about the internal structure of the Pro Truth Pledge later in this meeting. That's going to be the focus of the second part of our meeting, but that's been a lot of what we've been doing. So I'll update you all on that later. Now, then the next thing I want to talk about is the actual things we've been talking about. We've been publishing a number of articles, and I've published an article in the Dallas Morning News, which was pretty popular. We've had some article contributions from a couple of other bloggers. So Alex is finishing up an article, and other people are also kind of, writing articles, Charles and Joe Lehman. So we've had that. We've had a recent video published of a presentation I did for some coaches in the Columbus area. So that was done. Hey, Aaron, welcome back. So that's done. The video is ready. Aaron, can you mute yourself, please? There's some background noise. Thank you. So then we've been working on getting more volunteers involved in various structural positions in the Pro Truth Pledge. We've also been working on recreating the Intentional Insights website, which we had go down because of an attack, and we decided to switch to a new website, and that's been taking a really long time, unfortunately. So otherwise, let's see. We've had kind of some people attack us, Intentional Insights, for a number of things. I've sent out an article about that and wrote that. So it's essentially a situation where we are getting more popular and known, and people are getting some credit for attacking us, for trying to take us down, and that's kind of an unfortunate situation, an unfortunate dynamic that is developing, but we have to deal with reality as it is. Something causes me a lot of stress with these sorts of attacks, very unpleasant. But anyway, that's been unpleasant. But more pleasant stuff is that we are having more and more participants in Intentional Insights. We've had the group go over 1,500 just in the last Facebook group go over 1,500 in the last month, which is great. And so that's really good growth of participants, and the Pro Truth Pledge group is also growing, so that's exciting. I think the Pro Truth Pledge, last time I looked at it, it was the number of people that's the year of the Russian Revolution, so that was cool. Yes, good job. Good job.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It's exciting.
Hold on, that's the group, that's the number of people who signed the pledge, you mean?
Yes.
So that's not the Facebook group?
No, Facebook group has something like 360.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So that's a little bit of the update.
Yeah, 1917.
That's a little bit of the update, and I welcome learning about any questions that you all might have about it. So at this point, you're welcome to either take yourself off mute, or type your chat question into the chat box, whatever you prefer. Any questions about any recent developments, anything that the organization has been doing? This is your chance to ask. Board members are here, leaders are here. So please go ahead. Welcome, Kelly. We're just talking about the kind of activities that Intentional Insights has been doing, and this is an opportunity to ask about any recent developments that you have going on. Andrew Barber asked whether Bentley has any PTP updates for the group. Bentley, can you briefly share what's going on with the BTP, probably about the website and stuff like that?
Sure. We just recently released a page where you can click on each state and see how many people signed up in each state. That's a first step, and later on you're going to be able to look up your representatives and how many people have taken the pledge under that. So that's our next kind of technical project. Mm-hmm. We also have a page where you can see all the public figures and organizations that have signed the pledge, and there's a count at the top of that page of that. And we also added a count to the front page that says how many organizations, how many public figures, how many officials. So that's what we've been up to. I haven't looked at the numbers recently. Gleb, you mentioned them a minute ago, but it seems like we're still growing, so that's good.
Yeah. So the general pattern, the main method of growth is to basically that people are sharing about it with their friends on Facebook and Twitter. So if we look at the backside, if we look at the back end of the website, the statistics, the large majority of the growth is driven by traffic from Facebook and secondarily Twitter. So the main way it's growing is that all of you are sharing it on Facebook and Twitter, and that's how growth is taking place, through all of you sharing about it on Facebook and Twitter. A secondary way that it's taking place is that we publish articles in a variety of venues, and then those people are driven to the website from those articles, and that's another way that people find out about it and take the pledge.
Organizers, the local organizers.
Yes, and I'm talking specifically about the back end of the website.
Back end, okay, sure.
So the local organizers that's not part of what they do. So that's kind of what's happening there, how people are finding out about the pledge through online. Another way that people are taking the pledge and finding out about it is through word of mouth, obviously, just people talking. And organizers are gathering signatures, area organizers throughout the country are gathering signatures, and then they're sending those to me, and I'm having a volunteer input them into the website. So that's not coming through on the statistics on the back end, because you don't see that. So that's kind of how that is happening. Okay. Other questions about what InIn has been up to in the last month, including the Pro-Truth Pledge and any other projects? And again, the Facebook, you can unmute yourself and ask questions, or you can use the chat in the sidebar to ask any questions.
Constructive criticism and feedback.
Rande, did you have a question?
No, not.
Ah, okay. I saw that you unmuted yourself. Fair enough. Well, welcome.
Well, I was going to, apologies. I was just going to say that I had been ill, and I had been wanting to, let you know I was working on getting the group for this local area updated, and I did manage to find some bulletin boards and pass along the message. My mother has made a couple of further
Wonderful.
contacts, of course, with her, her business, and she's had a couple of city officials coming in too that we're kind of trying to pass along the message with.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your work. That's awesome. Great job. Please keep it up. Okay. Other folks? Questions, comments? I'm going to count to 5, and then we'll switch topics unless there are questions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So the next topic we want to talk about is the specific topic for this meeting. So each meeting that we have like this has both a general update where you can ask any questions you want relevant to the things we've been doing in the last month or make comments or something like that, and also a specific topic. And the specific topic we want to talk about is the organization of the Pro-Truth Pledge and the organizational structure. So just to update you, inform you, and get your feedback. We have a two-tier structure. One is the central organization, which is this Pro-Truth Pledge Central Coordination Committee. And Bentley was on this call as the chair of the Central Coordination Committee. There are a number of people on this call who are members of the Central Coordination Committee, and that involves Alex, Andrew, Agnes, and I, who are members of the Central Coordination Committee. There are a few others who are not on this call. And what we do is we do various strategic planning and various tasks that have to do with central management. Now, the other area is the area organizing. So where people on the ground level in a variety of cities, towns, we have state level organizers, we have local organizers who do area organizing on the ground. And like Brenda was giving an example of the kind of things that she's doing in her area. Other people are doing things in their area, both by themselves and organizing others. So Brenda, as she gathers more signatures and more local people get involved, she can coordinate other people in doing Pro-Truth Pledge oriented activities. And that's something that I'm doing here in Columbus and coordinating people other people are doing in other areas of the country. So that's the coordination structure. And we're trying to improve the connection between and of course there are a variety of volunteers who work on various individual projects within the Pro-Truth Pledge structure, which don't have to do with area organizers, but they work with members of the Central Coordination Committee who coordinate them on various activities. That's kind of another aspect. Things like, let's say, managing the central Twitter and social media accounts, or doing graphics, merchandise, and so on. Jane Gordon, for example, works on graphics, and she's working on a meme right now, and so on. So this is kind of volunteers who work on various projects who coordinate with the Central Coordination Committee. So this is the basic structure, and I wanted to hear your thoughts, inputs, feedback on the structure, and what can be, if you have any thoughts on improvement, if you have any feedback on it, if you have any kind of things that you want to input. Yes, I can see.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we have if we have had already any conversations about the direction that we want to take like the system in. Like, for example, I know Bentley has a lot on his plate, and again, like, we're all volunteers, and this is part of Intentional Insights, which is a nonprofit organization that has several other projects, and all the board members are volunteers. We don't have any staff at this time. We just have a few contractors helping us out, and mostly it's just volunteers. So I know there was some talk of like helping more volunteers to help Bentley and to help the Central.
Sure. Yes, one of the.
So I was just wondering, like, kind of what's the context of, do we have a direction of where we want to go?
So there are two main things we want to do. We do want more volunteers who would be in coordinating roles, and we recently had one step up to do coordination with area organizers, and we need quite a bit more coordination with area organizers, so people for the Central Coordinating Committee who would be taking point on various projects, as well as volunteers for the Central Coordinating Committee for various projects. So we definitely want more of a coordination process between the area organizers and the central coordination committee, and more people on the central coordination committee to coordinate with area organizers on a whole variety of projects. And yes, because we have more and more, we have something like over 20 state groups right now, and over 25 area organizers, close to 30. I don't remember the last numbers, but yes, kind of, people need to be worked with and helped, and resources need to be created for them. So by the Central Coordination Committee, which creates resources and provides support for area organizers and does training for them. That's one area. The other area in the medium long term is to hire staff. So we are definitely working on fundraising to hire staff who would be essentially volunteer coordinators, who can spend their full time on doing coordination activities with various volunteers and rounding up volunteers, making sure they stay on target and all that. The Pro-Truth Pledge is a volunteer-based project, and it really needs staff in the central aspects of the organization to coordinate volunteers and help keep people on target. So those are kind of the two areas. Does that answer your question about the two areas that we want, kind of this long-term area?
Yeah, just like for context as we're kind of thinking as people are making comments.
I had one question.
Please.
I would just, well, I'm wondering, I'm sure you correlated, quite an extensive list already regarding other groups that are similar or possibly, like we were discussing Justice Democrats before, if we have a consolidated or an updated one that for local, because I think that also making some connections with some local organized groups, because I know there's a few smaller groups around here of independent groups that I'm trying to kind of fish out, and I think that at least getting with them also could help to, possibly, if others have those groups in their local areas, of getting with them, but now there is also validating their veracity, of their causes too, and where, again, the money and the truthfulness too of what they're putting out there. But I would wonder if doing some of that might be fairly, like you were discussing about looking and open some other options up.
Yeah, excellent comment, Rende. So we do, one of the things that we do, and that's an option, is for organizations to join the Pro-Truth Pledge, organizations and groups to join the Pro-Truth Pledge as an organization or as a group. So for example, we have, Columbus is generally our most developed group because I live here and other volunteers live here, so we kind of have a lot of activities going on. So we have here a couple of groups that are in the process of joining the Pro-Truth Pledge. For example, Yes We Can Columbus is a progressive liberal group we are communicating with them about joining the Pro-Truth Pledge. We have a group in Florida called Pasco Activists that's talking about joining the Pro-Truth Pledge. We also have national coalitions. For example, the United Coalition of Reason that joined the Pro-Truth Pledge. Right. One of the things that we have found really helpful is to go to various groups and give speeches there. So for example, we have had members give speeches at Rotary clubs, and Rotary Club is a conservative Christian organization. They start with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance every meeting. And we had a member give a presentation to a Rotary Club, and 25% of the membership signed the Pro-Truth Pledge.
Well, I would venture that, for prime example, I was a Girl Scout. I would suspect that, truthfully, especially given the creeds associated with the Boy Scout and Girl Scouts of America, even though, you may not be Christian organized, the point of it is about duty, honor, integrity, and things like that. So I would definitely say, so pretty much trying to align with local groups that might support that, and like you said, also with some other groups that are already fairly established, and see if they can align and get on board.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts can be quite beneficial as well, and other similar groups that have truthfulness in their mission. So the Rotary Club has truthfulness as one of their 4 pillars. And so the Girl and Boy Scouts are similar in that regard. And I think it would be quite beneficial to have that be a part of the
Though I do bear in mind that they don't like political affiliations, this, I would think, be more based on integrity of,
Yes.
of stances and causes. So I think that's why I would approach it on that subject.
That makes sense. We have, I mean, the Rotary Club doesn't like political stuff either, so it's just about truthfulness and integrity. We have a number of business executives who signed the pro-truth pledge. For example, Howard Cook, who is the executive of Cook and Ross, a diversity kind of consulting corporation, or Pat Lynch, who is the CEO of Women's Radio. So kind of media organizations, and who, Women's Radio is not involved politically, but they value truth and integrity, and so that's why they signed the pledge. Mm-hmm. Definitely a good point. Other folks and other comments? So again, either unmute yourself or put the relevant stuff in the chat box. Glad to talk about it. Mm-hmm. What is that? Okay, so Kelly asked about a group in Florida. Yes, we have a group in Florida. So if you want a group in Florida, we have a Pro-Truth Pledge Facebook group for people in Florida. We also have a Florida organizer. His name is Jack Burkett, who I can connect you with. And also, so we have a number of people who are involved in the Florida area with Pro-Truth Pledge organizing. So Agnes, can you connect Kelly with Jack Burkett and add her to the Florida Pro-Truth Pledge group?
Yes.
Great.
I'm looking away because I'm the secretary, so I'm taking notes.
Yes.
I'm going to say this.
Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. And so, okay. So Agnes will, excellent. So great. So Kelly, we'll follow up with you afterward to get you connected to the Pro-Truth Pledge group in Florida, and to Jack Burke, who's our organizer there.
Someone's saying, Karen, are you in Texas or are you in Florida?
Oh, Kelly is in Florida.
Kelly's in Florida, but someone's asking about Texas. Who is this? Okay, I'm trying. People are like on 3 different tabs.
I'm in Texas. This is Karen. I'm in Texas.
Wonderful. Yes, Karen. We definitely.
Karen is in Texas. Kelly.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes. So there was confusion. Yes, we have a group in Texas, and I'll be happy to connect you to the Texas group.
Okay.
Yes. Where do you live in Texas, Karen?
I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, perfect. Well, Bentley is there, so that can be. Yes. Excellent.
So what are you gonna?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yep. So make a note for you.
Mm-hmm. We're about that time. Yeah.
Sure. Yes. So we have only a few more minutes. So if anybody has any questions, now is a good time to ask. Anybody have any comments about connecting them to other groups or anything like that? So I'm a professor. I know how important it is to give people time and wait.
the
Not rush
introvert
ahead.
people.
Yep, all the introverted people.
We've got a line, huh?
All right. I'll count to backwards from 5 to give people last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for participating. This was great, and board members in Bentley, please stick around, and we'll see the rest of you the next open board meeting. It was a pleasure. All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You stop recording?
Yes, I stopped the broadcast.
No, the button is to stop broadcast. You don't press it.
Oh,